So here's a quick tip. I just quick tip. Here's a tip to help you out as far as eat, and we kind of touched upon it real quick. Author names and biographies for all editorial content. You know, and this is something that I actually try to work with my staff as well about. Is that if we're doing a post, your LinkedIn, because I have some very talented people that work here at LSC Digital, but their LinkedIn profile looks not too hot, okay? And they really took 2 seconds with their bio on the website. And they don't do a lot with Twitter except reposting. They don't engage with conversations. But these are people that really know their stuff and should be listened to, okay? So a very quick way about that is, adding your name and biographies to all your editorial content. And I'm took screenshots from the actual guidelines. Now, this is important because I wanted to show this to you, and once again, we'll send all this to everybody, so you're not missing anything. You don't have to write anything down. Is that I wanted to add some screenshots directly from the guidelines that are given to you, because as you can see, it's all written in very, very straightforward language, okay? So anybody can really understand what they're looking for here. Highlighted right there, I'm just going to read a little bit, is understanding who is responsible for a website is a critical part of assessing EAT, for most types of websites. High quality pages should have clear information about the website so that users feel comfortable trusting the site. So that's that trustworthiness, okay? Now you must consider the reputation and EAT of both the website and the creator of the main content. MC stands for main content, in order to assign a page a quality ranking. So these are the instructions that they're giving quality raters. This is what you have to look for, okay? And the reputation and EAT of the creators of the main content is extremely important when a website has different authors of content. So if you're a content site, you really need to be building up the profiles of the people that are writing their biographies and getting them engaged, good profiles, so people can tell the quality of that individual that's writing that content, so they can, basically put an importance to that, put a score to that, increase the importance of that content because it's written by somebody that really knows their stuff. Okay? So next slide. So that leads into to the next point of personal branding. And this is really, nowadays, there was a great saying, and I really forgot who said it, and I hope if anybody's on this and they remember it, feel free to type it in. And it's absolutely true. In regards to online marketing, but probably all marketing at this point, every company is a media company at this point, okay? And personal branding is extremely important, okay? So anybody right now needs to be creating content, needs to be creating video. That's how you're going to drive traffic to your site. Even through paid search, you got to be creating content. You got to be creating those landing pages. So building a personal brand is extremely important, okay? So here's some real quick tips on how to build that personal brand. And once again, pulling directly from the guidelines, okay? Important, research the reputation and EAT of both the website and the creators of the main content. If either are lacking for the purpose of the page, the low or lowest rating is appropriate. So this is just really talking about looking at across the web your brand. All right. So the days of just, and look, I used to do this is actually how I started making money in SEO in the late 90s and early 2000s. I used to create tons of content site around keyword strategies and sell advertising. And I could bust out a site in a week and just have that multiplier effect, and it was great, okay? But I'll tell you right now, those sites had no authority, okay? I would put up 40, 50 pages of content. I would, do some one-way link building to those, and that would be it. And it would be churn and burn, okay? That stuff doesn't work at all anymore, all right? I know companies still to this day put up this really thin content of 400, 500 pages. Nobody's linking to it. There's no biography. It's no deep. We're guilty of it as well, LSC Digital, on our own site, okay? And that's a little bit of the cobbler's kids with no shoes. But those days are gone, okay? So you need to really build up your social media profiles and actively engage with influencers. So technically, your competition, people in the space that talk about the same topics you're talking about. And you also need to engage with your audience. The days of just pushing stuff out online and not have a conversation, if anybody's still doing that with your social, you're just wasting your time. And we run across that with tons of our clients. They're just pushing out content, but they're not talking to their audience at all. It's a complete waste of their time. And it's important to position yourself as a thought leader on trusted platforms, on the Facebooks, on the Twitters, go down the list, on the Reddits, okay? And it's important to be human with your audience. Get personal with your audience. Don't talk about certain things, but be human, okay? Be proactively engaged. Using bots, things like that, once again, really don't work extremely well. And then the next tip, it's about technical. Get your technical things in place here, okay? One thing, and this is becoming so important with Google, and it kind of annoys me, but I get it, is that Chrome is marking all HTTP pages as not secure, So any site without a SSL certificate and doesn't automatically redirect to HTTPS URL is on very thin ice when it comes to the future of the EAT score, okay? So if you don't have an SSL certificate, I really encourage you to get that squared away. It's very inexpensive to do. It's a yearly thing. You're not spending a ton of money. There's also places where you can get one for free, and you just renew it periodically. But getting one in place definitely should be a priority for you if you don't have it in place. And we know a lot of actually fairly big organizations that do not have an SSL certificate in place, but you really should have that in place because it is a legitimacy factor. Also, and we use this example, I pulled this one from Search Engine Journal.com, is, this used to be fairly common, especially in the e-commerce space, okay? Now, this site isn't owned by Nike, has nothing to do with Nike. It sells some Nikes, okay? But they're using the Nike logo, okay? This will negatively impact your EAT score, because it's not legit, okay? Also, what people used to do all the time, and this actually hurts your rankings now, is they used to put up a BB, a Better Business Bureau badge, or a Yahoo certified Yahoo store, or Google checkout logos. Well, if those don't link back to verified accounts, it's fraudulent, obviously, okay? And if those badges can't be verified, it's not going to hurt your ranking. It's not going to help your rankings. Actually, it's really going to hurt your rankings because they can't be verified. And we work with financial companies where they are actually legit, the badges that they use, but they just put up the badge and they don't actually link to all their reviews and stuff. So that shoots them right in the foot, because with EAT, somebody looks at that and then goes, oh, that's somebody just trying to put up a fake testimonial or something, okay? And obviously you don't want to do that, okay? But the reverse is very helpful when you have verifiable badges and certifications. That greatly helps your rankings, okay? So that's something that you really want to take into consideration, is the fact that, take the time to do that. A lot of people don't necessarily do that, but I think it's important that you do it. It's very easy to do, and you should absolutely do it. And then going along to the next page, so that's really the presentation for today. And we did receive a couple questions, so I'm going to, answer them in a second. But just a quick review of what we talked about today. Okay, so Google recently announced the release of BERT. Okay, it's a new algorithm that is trying to understand the natural way people search and people speak to each other. And it's been released to about 10% of all queries that are being done right now. And in our opinion, you can't really optimize for BERT. Okay. Some of them, and that's one of the biggest common misconceptions right now. There's a lot of people out there pushing that right now. I don't know if it's because of clickbait, it's just, I don't know why, but you really can't, okay? What they're really talking about a lot of times in these articles that I've been seeing, they've been talking about EAT, okay? And once again, everybody will receive this PowerPoint, and there will be a link to the guide for EAT. I highly encourage everybody to read it. Um, it's not in lingo that you're not going to understand, and it's extremely valuable. It will help you do your job a lot better. And then finally, just some strategies and tactics. And once again, from LSC Digital's view and my view, the day of authorship is really coming back, and it's coming back hardcore. So you really need to be thinking about that, how you're building your personal brand, getting all those biographies up on your site, building out those biographies, engaging in the audience. That's going to be huge. That's my prediction. And if you're not doing that, I think that's a great thing to focus on if you're a content site to be moving forward. Now, one of the questions that I have here is, how will this change SEO and word placement within website content? See, that's the thing. It doesn't. Okay, it's helping Google better understand, okay, those word placements. So the days of, hey, if there's this word's used in the H1 tag, and then this word is used at the top of the page, so that the traditional way that they weighted the value of keywords, okay, and what to optimize for, those are going away. Okay, so what Bert's doing is trying to understand by looking at the context of those words. So, how will this change SEO word placement within a website content? It doesn't. Okay, if anything, those traditional rules that everybody always had probably are going to become less and less important. And that's where, going back to some of the Twitter screenshots that I put up there, it's really about just putting good content out there, because Google every single day, because of their investment in AI, is getting better and better and better and better at understanding what you actually mean. Okay, and that's a big big change, because I'll tell everybody here, from about 2000 to about 2011, the algorithms were pretty stupid. Okay, you could game them pretty easily. Okay, it wasn't that big of a deal to get good rankings. It really all came down to the resources you had to get those good rankings. Okay, and sometimes that resource was time, sometimes that resource was money, with how many links you could buy or how much content you can buy. Those days are really going away. Okay, the days of gaming the algorithm, the AI is just getting way too smart. Okay, which kind of leads into the other question that I had, as far as tactics to optimize and so forth. Now, look, the reality is, and it's kind of negligent on a lot of people's part. How many people have read the Google guidelines? Not just for EAT, but also for webmasters. Okay, there's a lot of information out there. There's also a ton of great tools. I'm not going to, recommend any off the top of the head, but that's really important. Is the algorithms. So that's really important, is tools. So really take the time and understand that. Okay. So those were the two questions that I had. We're going to send out this recording to everybody who's attended, but also all registrants. So if you missed anything, don't worry about it. Okay. And then also too, we'll be sending out this PowerPoint. And then also check out our YouTube channel, LSC YouTube. Just do a search for LSC Digital, and you'll see it there. And thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. And if you have any questions, our contact information's up there. Feel free to reach out. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.